Preserving food for winter is an important part of growing your own. It's such a joy to still be able to use your homegrown produce in the dead of winter when the ground is covered in snow. This list includes 6 of my favorite food preservation books for your homestead. These books cover everything from basic canning to fermenting, to keeping food cool in a root cellar, to preserving with salt and vinegar. Personally, I use a wide variety of food preservation techniques. I can, ferment, dehydrate, freeze, and more, depending on what type of food I want to preserve. I like to dehydrate veggies for winter soups and stews. The dehydrated vegetables don't take much space to store and last a long time. For fresh eating, I store some veggies in an extra refrigerator and others out in the garden. I store fermented veggies, wine, and larded eggs in an unheated basement. For meat, I pressure can stew meat, burger, and roast, keeping some steaks and nicer cuts in the freezer. I'm always experimenting with new, or more commonly old, methods of food preservation. Regardless of where you live and what you can do on your property, you'll be sure to find some methods that work for you in these 6 food preservation books. The first book is Preserving Food Without Freezing or Canning. Preserving food without freezing or canning is a collection of traditional food preservation techniques using salt, oil, sugar, alcohol, vinegar, dehydrating, cold storage, and lacto-fermentation. What really makes this book unique is that it is a collection of food preservation methods from hundreds of different contributors, not just one author. Many of these traditional food preservation methods conserve or even increase the nutrient value of the foods you eat, unlike canning, which diminishes nutrients. I found so many interesting recipes in here that I hope to try soon. Just a few include filling whole cabbages with salt, preserving cheese in oil and spices, and homemade vegetable bouillon powder. The second book on my list is A Cabin Full of Food. I absolutely loved all the unique food preservation methods in this large book. The author lives without refrigeration. She shares both recipes and information on how she preserves her food. Most exciting to me was her inclusion of a variety of homemade cheeses and historic meat preservation methods that don't require freezing or pressure canning. Her recipe for bacon uses an old-fashioned cold smoking technique that preserved meat for many months when it was kept in a cool place. I first borrowed this one from the library and immediately decided to purchase a copy for my own shelf. The third book on my list is Joy of Pickling. It used to be when I thought of pickles, pickled cucumbers came to mind. The Joy of Pickling includes more than 200 recipes for pickling every kind of food you can imagine. The book has chapters on fermented refrigerator pickles, canned pickles, and freezer pickles. It shows you how to pickle everything from cauliflower to chutney to walnuts to eggs and meats. Definitely a must-have for any family who loves pickles. Number 4 is root cellaring. I first stole this book from my mother's shelf, then borrowed a copy from the local library. I probably should just purchase my own. This complete guide to root cellaring includes everything from storing food in a root cellar, to building one, to recipes using your stored food. The first part of the book includes storage methods, varieties to grow, and storage times for a variety of foods. The middle of the book has root cellar plans for everyone. Some of the included plans are for outdoor storage methods such as clamps, trenches, a hay bale fortress, and a buried refrigerator cellar. There are also instructions on making a cold cellar in your existing basement or for digging an entirely new one. Book number 5 is Pickling Everything. This pickling book has so many fun recipes. Some include vinegar, while others are lacto-fermented and loaded with health benefits. I tried out many of these recipes in my kitchen this past summer. Really a great book to have in your homestead kitchen. And finally, number 6 is Can It and Ferment It, another book I originally borrowed from my mother's shelf. I found lots of fun small batch recipes in this food preservation book and have been experimenting with many of them. I really like how it includes a combination of fermenting and actual canning, since I do both in my homestead kitchen.